Jake here for ExtremeTerrain.com, and today I'm checking out this Flowmaster Outlaw Extreme single exhaust system for 2005 to 2015 4-liter Toyota Tacomas. Now this system is going to appeal to the Tacoma owner who's looking for a more aggressive sound out of their truck and might also be looking for some extra clearance for off-roading, all while not being too spendy. If you're looking for a way to add a dash of personality to your Tacoma or to increase your capabilities out on the trail, this might just be the exhaust for you. Now I think we can all attest that the stock exhaust sound on Tacomas of this gen is, well, it's not much of anything. And if you're looking for an exhaust with some serious volume, then this Flowmaster might just be what you're looking for. This one includes their Outlaw Series muffler, which they describe as their most aggressive setup both on the interior and exterior. And on a scale of 1 to 5, or 1 to blowing out your eardrums, this one's gonna get a 5. You heard the clips, and the videos don't entirely do it justice. This thing is loud. It's not gonna sound anything like that quiet whir of a stock Tacoma. You get some real raspiness out of the exhaust here, which personally I like. The tone isn't very deep. I mean, it is a V6, not a V8 we're talking about, but it does bring a bit of that race-inspired flavor to your truck. It's certainly louder inside the cabin as well, especially because of where the tip is routed, turning down and dumping just ahead of the rear axle. Which brings us nicely to the setup and construction. Now, as I mentioned before, this is not your typical single exit exhaust. No, this one dumps under the bed of the truck, just ahead of your rear axle. This is the tip right here. So the benefit is that you're going to eliminate that over axle pipe completely. That gives you a lot more clearance in the rear of the truck. It's less hanging out behind your rear wheels, so especially if you're doing some heavy duty wheeling, it's gonna help with your departure angle quite a bit. It also helps keep things tight to the underside of the truck, which again is important if you're out there on some tougher trails. Now I'm sure a lot of you out there have gotten your exhaust hung up before. I mean, heck, I've had it happen to me on a streetcar, and it's never a fun time. So if you happen to fall in the cross section of folks who like loud exhausts and you want some of that additional ground clearance, well, this is gonna be a great option for you. In regards to construction, I want to stress again that this is a bit more of a budget-friendly option. That's not to say it's not of good quality though. The entire thing is made from 409 grade stainless steel, and it does provide some good corrosion and rust resistance, though not quite as much as something made of 304 stainless, if only because 409 tends to have a higher iron content. However, the entire thing is made from 3-inch 16-gauge mandrel bent tubing, so there's no creases or crimps here in the bends in the exhaust, and it's going to provide a nice smooth flow. You also get that Flowmaster muffler, of course, to cap it all off. Now, as far as price is concerned, again, this is a relatively inexpensive option for the category. Coming in around $375, it's very budget friendly, while of course still being of good quality. Again, this isn't the nicest one you're going to find in the segment, but you're still going to get a durable, usable exhaust while not spending a whole lot out of your pocket. So let's talk about the install process a bit. This one is going to come in at a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and it should take you around an hour to get it all installed. Even if you have never done an exhaust before, this is a relatively straightforward install. It uses your factory exhaust hanger locations, and again, since we're eliminating that over axle portion of the stock exhaust, it's less to handle and there's no cutting required. As you can see, there's really only a couple of pieces here. It's just the muffler and turn down, this extension pipe, and this clamp right here, which slides right into one of your stock exhaust hangers. That's it. It all adds up to a very simple bolt-in process. But for a more in-depth look at how to get this onto your truck, let's head on over to the install bay and we'll walk you through it step by step.
The tools you're going to need for this installation include an impact gun, a 15mm deep socket, 14mm socket and wrench, an exhaust hanger removal tool, and lubrication. How's it going, everybody? Today we have an exhaust we're going to install on our Tacoma for you, and we previously got the uninstalled footage, so we're going to show you that now, and then I'll be back to show you how to install our new exhaust step by step.
All right, so we have our Tacoma in the air, and the first step in the uninstall is to remove both of the bolts at the front flange of the exhaust. Grab a 14mm socket and let's get these removed. Now we have a little bit of PB Blaster on these just because they are a bit rusty, so we sprayed them down. Now we can remove them with a 14mm socket. Now that we have our exhaust disconnected, we can disconnect all of the hangers as well. We have an exhaust hanger removal tool here. And we're going to slowly work it off of each of the hangers. You can add a little bit of lubricant here to help the rubber isolator move past the hanger. And you might just have to work it off of the end a little bit. And now that that's off, we can move on to the rest. Now you can repeat that with the rest of your hangers. Just be ready, as once all of your hangers are removed, there's nothing else holding the exhaust to the vehicle. And once the hangers are removed, go ahead and remove it off of your truck.
All right, we're ready for our install, and we're gonna start by taking our tailpipe and hanging it on the two hangers right above the rear axle. All right, so we're under the Tacoma, right by the rear axle here, and as you can see, the two hangers here right above it, where our factory muffler came off, is where our tailpipe is gonna be hung. All right, so we're sliding our hangers all the way through our isolators, and we're just gonna let that hang there for now while we grab our clamp and our other section of pipe. All right, we're moving along towards the middle of the truck now, and we're right next to the gas tank, and you can see this is the next isolator right here that we're gonna be using to hang our muffler on. And with the supplied clamp that has the built-in hanger, we're gonna slide this on here to our tailpipe, then hang it right here on this isolator. Now, if this doesn't quite reach this isolator here, you can just wiggle the tailpipe off of the isolators that we hung it on previously, just so you have enough distance to be able to reach this isolator. Now we're gonna grab our other section of pipe and install it right here. All right, we have our mid pipe now, and we're gonna go ahead and slide this into our tailpipe. That way we'll be able to maneuver it and then set it onto our Y-pipe/cat here, grab our factory hardware, and put that in by hand. With our mid pipe into our tailpipe, as you can see, we have enough room here to slide this over our Y-pipe/cat. Now we can put some factory hardware in by hand and let it sit so that we can tighten everything up. All right, so we have our factory bolt and nut here. We're gonna slide it through both flanges. And since this is a spring tension bolt here, you just have to put a little pressure on it in order to get it through enough to put our nut on by hand. Once you have that on a few threads, go ahead and grab the other one and do the same thing. All right, on the other side of the same flange here, put a little pressure on the bolt so you can get enough through and get a couple threads by hand on the nut. Now that we have everything loosely fitted by hand, we can grab our tools and make sure that everything's lined up properly and tighten everything down. And we're gonna start here at our Y-pipe/cat back with our 14mm wrench and 14mm socket. Now we're here at our clamp. I'm just gonna push this up a little bit, take my 15 millimeter socket, and go ahead and tighten this down. That wraps up this review and install of the Flowmaster Outlaw Extreme single exhaust system with the turn down style for the 05 to 14 4-liter Tacoma. Thank you for watching, and for all things Tacoma, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.